The serpent in Genesis 3 is one of the most enigmatic figures in the Bible. Often imagined as a simple snake, its role actually suggests something far more profound and sinister. But could this creature actually be connected to the broader biblical imagery of chaos monsters, which would be beings like Leviathan or the dragon of Revelation? To understand this connection, we need to dive deeper into the ancient context and symbolism of the serpent. The Hebrew word used for the serpent is nachash, which is a word rich in meaning. Nachash can refer to a serpent, but in biblical literature, it also carries associations with divination and brilliance, hinting at something supernatural. In Isaiah 27:1, the word nachash is linked with Leviathan, described as the twisting serpent, a chaotic sea monster that God will ultimately slay. This connection suggests that the serpent in Eden might not be merely a talking animal, but a symbolic embodiment of chaos and rebellion against God's order. To understand this, consider the recurring theme of chaos in the Bible. In Genesis 1, God brings order to the chaotic waters, creating dry land and filling the earth with life. Yet chaos isn't entirely eradicated. Creatures like the Tananim, great sea monsters, are created and declared good. These creatures associated with chaos remain within the bounds of God's sovereign creation. But what happens when chaos crosses those boundaries? In Genesis 3, the serpent intrudes into Eden, the very heart of divine order and blessing. And here, the nachash tempts Adam and Eve, introducing disorder through deception. This act parallels the role of chaos monsters elsewhere in the Bible. For instance, Leviathan in Psalm 74 is described as a multi-headed beast that God crushes to establish his reign over the chaotic waters. The imagery is clear. These creatures are threats to divine order, subdued only by God's power. Further, Second Temple Jewish literature like 1st Enoch expands on the idea of supernatural rebellion, linking figures like the Watchers and their corrupt offspring, the Nephilim, to proliferation of chaos on the earth. These stories resonate with the serpent's role in Eden, portraying it as a rebel aligned with cosmic disorder. Michael Heiser in The Unseen Realm argues that the biblical authors often depict chaos creatures as spiritual agents of rebellion, opposing God's rule in both the heavenly and earthly realms. By the New Testament, this imagery becomes even more explicit. Revelation identifies Satan as the great dragon, directly connecting the serpent of Genesis 3 to the archetypal chaos monster. The serpent isn't just a tempter, kind of like what we saw in Genesis 3, but he is now the embodiment of cosmic rebellion, representing a profound spiritual conflict that spans the entire biblical narrative. In this light, the serpent in the garden is far more than a simple animal. It is a chaos creature, a rebel infiltrating God's ordered creation. Its presence in Eden challenges us to see the biblical story as a cosmic battle between order and chaos, culminating in God's ultimate victory over these forces through Christ.